Have you ever watched your dog stare at you, not at your phone, not at the door, not at the food bowl, just at you, and wondered what they actually see when they look at your face? Most people assume the answer is simple. Their owner, the person who feeds them, walks them, loves them. Familiarity, routine. But that's only half the answer. And the half that's missing changes everything. Your dog hasn't categorized you the way you think they have. Not as a human, not as a caretaker, not as a pack leader. What's actually happening inside their brain every time they look at your face is something most owners never find out. There's one thing we're going to get to at the end that most owners are never told. What your dog has actually classified you as, according to science, isn't a role, it isn't a rank. It's something researchers only expected to find in one other place. And when they found it in dogs, it stopped them. Let's start with how your dog's brain actually sees you. 1. Your dog doesn't see a human. They see something entirely their own. You've probably noticed that your dog reacts to you differently than they react to anyone else. A stranger walks in, they watch. A friend visits, they warm up eventually. But when you walk through that door, something else entirely happens. Something that doesn't happen for anyone else. Most people figure their dog just knows who feeds them, who takes them out, who gives them what they need, the person who runs the logistics of their life. That's not it. Here's what most owners don't realize. Your dog hasn't simply learned your role. They've built a category in their mind that exists only for you. Not owner, not pack member, not human. Something that has no equivalent in any other animal's mental architecture, a classification invented specifically for you and filled by no one else. In 2014, Dr. Gregory Burns and his team at Emory University used fMRI imaging on fully awake, untrained dogs to study how their brains responded to different stimuli. What they found was remarkable. The caudate nucleus, the brain region most associated with positive anticipation and reward, activated more powerfully in response to the owner's scent than to any other input. Not food, not toys, not other familiar humans, just you. Your specific scent unlocks something in your dog's brain that nothing else could reach. This isn't recognition the way you recognize a face. It's deeper than that. Your dog didn't just learn who you are. They build a place inside their mind where only you exist, where everything they know about safety, comfort, and trust is stored under your specific identity and no one else's. You aren't categorized alongside other people they like. You are a category of one. Think about what that means for every moment they've spent with you. Every time they bypass other people in the room to find your specific spot on the couch. Every time they settle, exhale, and go still only after they've located you. That's not habit. That's your dog going to the one place in their world that is entirely, specifically, irreplaceably you, too. They learned your face before they learned anything else about you. Think about how your dog looks at your face. Not a glance, a real, sustained look. Their eyes moving slowly, tracking something. Have you ever wondered what they're actually reading? Most people assume their dog is watching for what comes next. Waiting for the leash, waiting for the bowl, reading cues about what's about to happen. Here's what most people completely miss. Your dog isn't scanning your face for information about what you're about to do. They're reading what you feel, and they're doing it using a strategy scientists once believed only humans possessed. Researchers at the University of Lincoln found in 2008 that dogs display a left gaze bias when looking at human faces, instinctively scanning the right side first. That matters because the right side of a human face carries more emotional information than the left. Humans do the exact same thing when reading each other. No other animal developed this bias for human faces. Dogs evolved it specifically to read us. Your dog doesn't just look at your face, they read it. Every expression you've made in their presence has been studied and filed. The tension around your eyes on a hard day, the way your face settles when you're genuinely at ease, they know the difference. They've always known. You've never had to explain yourself to your dog. They were already reading the answer in your face before you knew you were showing it. There are days when you're sitting quietly, nothing visibly wrong, and your dog walks over and presses against you anyway. They read something in your face you hadn't shown anyone else. They already knew. If this is starting to change the way you see your dog, hit that like button and subscribe. It's how we reach more dog owners who want to understand what their dog is actually telling them. 3. Your dog has rewired themselves around your emotions. Have you ever noticed that your dog's mood tracks yours? Not just on the obvious days, the days you're visibly struggling, but the quiet ones. The low days when nothing is technically wrong, but something sits heavy, and somehow your dog already knows. Most people think their dog is reacting to something visible. A different tone of voice, slower movements, a signal they've learned to recognize. Here's what most owners have no idea about. Your dog isn't just reading your behavior. Their body is responding to yours chemically before you've done anything at all. This isn't sensitivity, it's synchronization. Researchers at Linköping University in Sweden published findings in 2019 showing that cortisol levels, the stress hormone, were synchronized between dogs and their long-term owners, measured through hair samples collected over several months. Not a single moment, a sustained pattern. Dogs with the closest bonds showed the strongest synchronization. Their cortisol wasn't rising because of anything in their environment. It was rising because yours was. Your dog doesn't just notice when something is wrong. They carry it. Their internal chemistry rises and falls in response to yours, not through training, not through learned signals, but because their nervous system quietly reorganized itself around you. That's not a behavior. That's devotion written into biology. Every hard week you moved through quietly, not showing much. Your dog felt the weight of it, not metaphorically, in their body. A hard week you haven't told anyone about. Your dog quieter than usual, not asking for anything, just close, like they've decided not to leave you alone with it. They weren't reacting. They were with you. 4. They choose you over their own instincts. Think about the last time something startled your dog. A loud noise, a stranger at the door, something unexpected, and instead of bolting away from it, they moved toward you. Did you notice that? Did you wonder why? Most people assume their dog runs to them when scared because they want protection. You're familiar, you're bigger, you're safety. But here's what most people don't realize. Your dog isn't coming to you because you'll handle the threat. They're coming to you because your presence physically changes what fear does inside their body, not emotionally, chemically. Researchers at the University of Veterinary Medicine, Vienna, found in 2014 that dogs separated from their owners in mildly stressful situations showed significantly elevated cortisol and increased heart rate. When reunited with their bonded owner, not just any familiar person, specifically their owner, those markers dropped rapidly. The stress response didn't just ease, it reversed. Another person made no measurable difference. Only you did. Your presence doesn't just feel good to your dog. It physiologically undoes what fear started. You are the biological reset, The one presence that takes a body flooded with stress chemistry and pulls it back to baseline. No training built that. Only time, only closeness, only the specific bond that forms when one nervous system spends long enough answering another. You don't calm your dog. You complete something in them. A thunderstorm. Your dog pressing their full weight against your legs, not barking, not pacing, just pressing. Their breathing slows the moment they make contact. They didn't come to you because they were scared. They came to you because you're the only thing that makes the scared stop. 5. Your dog has assigned you a role no other animal could fill. Have you ever noticed that look your dog gives you as you grab your keys? Not panic, not barking. Just that specific, quiet look, the one that's hard to name but impossible to miss. Have you ever wondered what that look actually is? Most people assume their dog just doesn't like being left alone. The aloneness is the problem. Any company would help a friend, another pet, the television left on. Here's what most owners never realize. It was never about the aloneness. The gap your dog feels when you leave isn't a general vacancy. It's a specific one, shaped exactly like you, and nothing else fits it. Researchers at Stockholm University found in 2003 that dogs left with an unfamiliar person showed cortisol levels nearly equivalent to dogs left completely alone. A warm body in the room made no measurable biochemical difference. When their bonded owner was present, the stress response disappeared entirely. A substitute human provided nothing their nervous system recognized as relief. Only their specific person did. There is no substitute for you in your dog's nervous system. Not irreplaceable the way a favorite toy is irreplaceable. Irreplaceable the way a category is irreplaceable when nothing else belongs in it. You occupy a position in their emotional world that was built specifically for you and cannot be filled by anyone who isn't you. No one else even comes close. You come home to a dog who has had company all day, played with, fed, kept comfortable, and the moment they hear your key in the door, something releases in them that nothing else could touch all day. Everyone else was fine, but only you were enough. 6. What your dog has actually classified you as and why it changes everything. Remember at the start I said your dog hasn't classified you as human? Not exactly. So what are you to them? After everything we've covered, the answer is closer than you'd expect and deeper. Most people have heard the pack leader idea or the parent substitute. Both feel close. Neither is quite right. They describe roles defined by what you do for your dog, not what you are to them. Here's what the science actually found, and what most owners are never told. When researchers studied how dogs respond to their bonded owners, they weren't finding loyalty or obedience. They were finding something that looked exactly like something they'd only ever documented in one other place. Scientists at the University of Veterinary Medicine, Vienna, applied the strange situation protocol to dogs and their owners in 2003, a framework originally designed to measure infant attachment. What they found stopped them. Dogs showed identical attachment behaviors to securely attached human infants, using their owner as a safe base to explore from, showing distress on separation, seeking closeness on return. No other species outside of human infants demonstrates this pattern this consistently. Your dog doesn't experience you as their owner. They experience you the way a child experiences the one person who makes the world feel safe enough to exist in. The look at the door when you leave, that's not anxiety. That's an infant watching their safe base disappear. The way they exhale when you sit down, the weight of them against you on a hard night. None of it was habit. It was a being who rebuilt their entire inner world around your presence. You asked, at the start, what your dog sees when they look at your face. Now you know. They don't see a species. They don't see a human. They see the one presence that makes everything okay. The one thing their nervous system recognizes as home. And every single day, without a word, without anything you had to earn, they chose you for it. That was never a small thing. It still isn't.